Imagine, if you will, a time when Portugal, a seemingly small European nation, was home to a vast number of African slaves. The 1700s marked a period when this nation was embroiled in the dark and tragic history of slavery. As early as the 1400s, Africans were captured and transported to Portuguese shores, where they were forced to labor in fields, fisheries, and mines. Fast forward to 1755, when the Portuguese government took an unprecedented step. In this year, a decree was issued, legalizing slavery within the country. This decree did not merely legitimize the existing state of affairs, it also dictated the terms of this inhumane practice. African slaves captured in Portuguese colonies were now firmly under the jurisdiction of Portuguese laws. Their freedom was contingent on the will of the Portuguese government. This decree went further, setting up a taxation system on the sale of slaves and banning the sale of slaves to other countries. Portuguese ships carrying this precious but unfortunate cargo were required to be escorted by a Portuguese naval vessel. A clear message was sent. Portuguese citizens could not purchase slaves from other countries. The sale of slaves was restricted to Portuguese citizens and only with the government's approval. The decree also held Portuguese slave owners accountable for the welfare of their slaves. They were required to provide for their care and education. There was even a system of compensation for the owners in the unfortunate event of a slave's death. Yet, despite these laws, the cruel practice of slavery persisted in Portugal until the year 1876. It was in this year that the Portuguese government officially abolished slavery. Even then, there were those who continued to own slaves, defying the law. The 20th century saw Portugal taking a firm stand against slavery. In 1951, Portugal signed the United Nations Convention on the Suppression of Slavery, a global proclamation condemning all forms of slavery and declaring it an international crime. Fast forward to the present day, Portugal is now a champion in the fight against modern slavery and human trafficking. Even though slavery is a grim reality in many parts of the world, Portugal has pledged to eradicate it wherever it exists. This commitment stands as a beacon of hope in the ongoing fight against this atrocious practice. To recap, Portugal's journey from a nation that legalized slavery in the 18th century to a country that took a firm stand against it in the 20th century, and now to a leader in the fight against modern slavery, is a testament to the transformative power of collective will and the relentless pursuit of justice.